Hello, my name is Art. Welcome back. This is another video I'm going to do. Earlier today, I posted about a video about what usually happens during a DUI / probation and everything else. Now, what I'm going to do is in September of this year, I'll be off probation for 2 years. Now, the thing is, I was on probation for 2 years. Did a whole bunch of stuff. Did what the courts wanted, all the drug tests, all this, substance abuse counseling, AA. I did the whole shebang. Now, 2 years free, but in some ways I'm still a prisoner of the courts. I'll explain that in a second. What happens is once you get a DUI, it's with you for life. So that means, like for me, if I get another DUI, that's my third strike. For some of you, it would be number 2. Okay. So, like I said, this is with me forever. I can never get rid of it. But then again, and sometimes people are always going to bring this back up. So, like, say for example, if I get pulled over, the first thing, so they know I got pulled over for drunk driving before, but what do you think the first thing they're going to ask me? Have I been drinking? Okay, so that's something I had to deal with. But what happened is right now, I don't have to take any piss tests. I don't have to test for drugs. I don't have to test for alcohol, and that's a great feeling. I don't have to call a phone number at 5 o'clock every morning to see if I had to test or not. I don't have to do all that anymore, which is a great feeling. I don't have to worry about paying some court or paying for this or paying for that anymore. I don't have to do that, and that's the best thing. But the problem is that the DUI situation screws up your life so much. A lot of people say, well, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? Your life is still screwed up, because what happens, you have to try to rebuild everything that you potentially could have had, or the things you could have lost, or the things you lost. And that's what I'm going through right now. Slow. I mean, before the DUI, I had about $5,000 in the bank. Think about it. Before the DUI, I had $5,000 in the bank. Now, I'm living check to check still. There's some other problems with that one, but the idea is I'm slowly rebuilding. I'm slowly feeling better. Slowly putting it behind me. I still go to AA sometimes just to keep my mind straight. But the thing is, I do what I want whenever I feel like it. But the thing is, the reason I'm saying this is because there is light at the end of that tunnel. There is an end to it all. Whether you're just starting the whole process or you're close to the end, you got to keep your mind straight and get that shit done. Get it done. Do the right things. Don't screw up, and you can pretty much skate by with no problem. But sometimes we all mess up. We all do mess up. We all mess up on dumb shit. Yeah, and I pay for some of that myself. But the thing is, that's human. There is light at the end of that DUI tunnel. But the problem is that after all this is over, you got to reevaluate everything you do. Like, for example, during the DUI process, I used to go to the Arnold Fitness Festival every March, okay, which is out of state. The probation officer always, when I tell them about 3 months prior, like in December, oh yeah, you can go. Everything's good, you can go. January, oh, everything's cool, yeah, you can go. February, because it's the first weekend in March. I see him in February. Well, you know what? After thinking about it, no, you can't go. Okay, that's in like 2 weeks. And the thing is, mine was like the fourth Monday of every month, so it was like right there. I was like, oh man, so that means that hotel I had to cancel. All this money, the people I was supposed to go out with, I had to cancel that too. Or they'll say that, You can go, but you gotta do some. If you get called, you gotta do some drug counseling. You have to do the drug thing out there, or you can go there after you do it. I'm like, dude, we leave at 3 in the morning. Try to get there by 8, or sometimes by the weekend we try to leave Friday night. You know what I'm saying? That means I have to run up here, back up to Michigan, which is 5 hour drive. Seriously. Then what happens in the March? Oh, you could have went. That kind of fucks with you. This one guy, he went on vacation. Forgot to tell the court he went on vacation. Luckily, he didn't have to get any. Luckily, he didn't have to get any. And they said, "Oh, you went out of town, huh? You forgot to tell us that, didn't you?" And his probation officer basically said, "Well, I'll tell you what, you can pay us an extra $100 for that, or $200, you know, or you violate, you know what I'm saying." But see, I don't have to worry about that shit anymore. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and believe me, I feel great now. Of course, during the whole process, I felt like crap, because guess what? The court's telling me I got a problem. Then I had to go to counseling. They told me I had a problem. When I went to counseling, they said, "All right, you don't have a problem. You just screwed up." But then I had to go to mandatory AA classes, and they're less, they're telling me, "Oh, you got your alcohol's a problem." And I'm like, shit. And then again, also, some other places were like, "You don't have a problem at all. You just got caught up." But the thing is that I'm glad you're here. But anyway, there is light at the end of when I call it right now. When I first got on it, I likened that to going into a tunnel. And then at the end you see that light, and when you're very far away, it's like really, really small, small, small. But once you get closer to it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you're out of it. And once you're out of it, everything's great. You can rebuild your life. I'm still in the process of rebuilding my life. I'm in and every time when I think about drinking, I had to redouble. Before, whenever I drank, I just drank. I didn't give a damn with the consequences. Now I had to constantly rethink the situation. Like, for example, the Memorial Day party at my friend's house, I didn't think about drinking. I was like, okay, cool, I could drink. I was thinking I'll drink on like 1 or 2, and then that'll be good. Drink a lot more. And then when that time comes, I'm like, I'm not drunk. I don't feel drunk. But the thing is, since I'm driving all this way back to my house, should I actually try to drive? That's where and the funny thing is that when I left the house, I got to the car, I was thinking that they locked the doors, everybody's gone to sleep. I'm like, oh man, I'm stuck out here now. Oh no. But luckily, the tow truck thing, the car didn't start, I had to get a tow truck, which is good. But the thing is, you have to think about that stuff now. Tell you, sometimes I went out to dinner, I had like 1 beer with a friend, or sometimes 2. If I didn't drive, I had 3 to 4, since I wasn't driving. But that's the kind of things you think about. You should be thinking about. But other than that, I just have to say, keep plugging until you get to that tunnel. And then once, like for me right now, I have to stay vigilant to make sure I don't fall back into that same scenario again. And that's what happens. That's what my suggestion is. So bottom line, there is light at the end of this tunnel. Now the thing is, the last video was like 20-something minutes. I could have did this and made it 30 minutes, but then again, I don't like the idea of watching 30 minutes of videos sometimes. When I'm watching other people's videos, when it gets like 30 to 45 minutes, I'm like, damn. Wow. But it's all good. I still watch it anyway. It's like, damn, it's 30 minutes. Ooh. But anyway, one other thing I'm gonna say is that one of my commentators, yeah, Benjamin Button's going through a hard time right now. I talked to Benjamin today actually, and Benjamin is going through a really tough ringer. So I'm gonna make sure I keep in contact with Benjamin to make sure that Benjamin's all right. thing is, you're very special to me. And the thing is that even though you told me a whole bunch of stuff, what was going on, what the hell was that? Oh, well. But I'll be thinking about you. Okay? I'm concerned. Not that concerned, but I am concerned. And I'm going to make sure I keep in contact with you till this whole storm blows over. Okay? With that, I want to say, just be careful. Sometimes we all, even though the best, like we have the best laid plans, we still can mess it up some way. I did recently, but luckily it all worked out for the better. And with that, people who touch your life, make sure you keep them closer to you, because you never know when something might happen. And sometimes a word from one of them will help boost your spirits, and sometimes will help snap you back into reality. So with that, I'm gonna go and finish some laundry because the work week starts back again. Okay, thank you very much.